Hey guys, another short one today. I'm just continuing on my series of these little AI tools and hacks that honestly make the biggest difference in my day to day. I talked about my absolute favorite tool, which is my Fireflies note taker integration with Claude. My next favorite that I'll talk about here is my Gamma integration. And I mean, again, there's so many tools that create like pitch decks and different things. What I like about Gamma is it's AI first and it actually works. So you can create these beautiful custom presentations with AI. You've probably heard about Gamma, but it's like not enough just to build software anymore. You actually have to like it's not just about how good your software is, it's about how good your integration is. And integration now doesn't just mean you have a great API, it means you have a great MCP server and that you can connect to tools like Cursor and Claude. Gamma was leading the way on that. They created an amazing MCP server that natively integrates with Claude. And now you can just create beautiful pitch decks and you can have it adhere to like a style guideline. So I use it for everything. Anytime I have a proposal to generate for a client, a one pager, somebody requests more information, I can actually have Claude pull up my conversation with that person if it was a phone call, or I can have them look at an email and then I can just prompt Claude to create a presentation based on that. And I get compliments all the time. People say these are the most beautiful pitch decks I've ever seen. I've gotten jobs because of Gamma. So highly recommend the tool. It's worth the whatever I pay, $10, $20 a month for it. So with that, let me just show you quickly how to set it up. It's really not a big deal. If I'm like, you go into Claude, there's two ways to set up MCP servers. The number one, and I've showed this in other videos, it's like if they have a native integration, you just click connectors and then you just click your manage connector screen and browse connectors. And obviously that's the best case scenario. I don't think Gamma has one of these yet. They certainly didn't when I set it up. So for anything where there's not a native integration, I mean, these are popping up so quickly. You can find custom integrations for almost every like software that's coming out now. But the way to add those type of integrations that aren't natively integrated is to click on developer in your settings tab here, and then just click edit config. And it's going to just take you to your folder, your Claude folder, and you'll see it highlighted. It's going to say, let's see, Claude desktop config.json. So if you click on that, it's just going to open your text editor if you're on a Mac like me. I have no idea how this works on PC, so apologies for that. But you'll just see a blank text file if you don't have any of these set up, or in my case, you'll see a bunch of MCP servers in the form of JSON, which is just a format for storing data. And then I'm going to include the config for Gamma so that you can just copy and paste it. But basically, you'll just paste the JSON blob that I'm going to give you, and basically it's just going to have a space for your API key, and that's how you connect your personal Gamma account to Claude. So you'll just add that. You'll add your API key in this quote section. So API key here, and then you'll just click save, and you'll restart Claude Desktop, and Claude will immediately recognize your new MCP server. So that's the Claude setup. Before you do that, though, you do want to set up your Gamma account. So I'm sure you all know how to set up a software account. They typically make it pretty easy, but basically it'll take you to your workspace. And I do believe you need some kind of a subscription to use the MCP server. Highly recommend it. And once you're set up with that, you'll see a screen like this. This is your home page. This is where you'll see all your Gamma presentations that you've built. And basically, if you click library here, you can just create a new theme. So you'll just build a theme, and basically they have all these great templates you can use to custom, and you can customize it with your own fonts and things like that. But you can just match your your company or your organization's style guidelines. You can select fonts here. You can just change how different things are going to appear in your AI generated presentations. You can upload your logo, and then you'll just click save. So you can see I already have my own theme already built out here. And this is just my company theme. So basically, anytime I build anything with Gamma, it's always going to look, the branding is always going to be pretty much on point with how I want it to look. And then if you click API generated here, this is everything. This is where everything will show up that's been created by Claude or through the API. So programmatically. Let's see here. What else can I show you? If you click on settings, you can click on API keys. And basically, you can create a new API key. And I always recommend create API keys for specific tasks. So in this case, Claude, create a new API key that just Claude uses so you can kind of track usage and things like that. So that's basically all you'll need to do on the Gamma side. So you create that, you grab the API key, you save it into your desktop config for Claude, you restart Claude desktop, and now you have access to use Gamma in Claude. So I'm going to go to my personal assistant project. I recommend creating one of these in Claude because basically what this allows you to do is to have a window of Claude that has full context on the types of things you do every day and on your business and on you personally. So it just knows you don't have to start from scratch every time. So I'm going to actually show you how I normally would use this. So let's say pull up my most recent Fireflies transcript from yesterday and concisely summarize the conversation, redact client names and company names for demo purposes. Give it a second to think here. All right, so yeah, you'll see that like in a project, things generally work a little bit more slowly because I've got all these project instructions and documentation attached to my personal assistant so that it knows everything. It has full context before it starts talking to me. So yeah, it slows everything down a little bit, which is why I use it for more like strategic high-level tasks like this. I don't use it for like in the weeds, like building software or anything like that. I've also prompted this project to always talk to me like a cowboy. If you've seen my other videos, it's just a preference that I have, but you can have Claude talk to you however you want. Okay, my client is a real estate developer, works in land development, data hierarchy, infrastructure and scaling. Okay, so this was like a normal like weekly client conversation. So we were basically just talking about like a expanded scope for an existing build that I'm working on for them. So what I'm going to ask Claude to do is let's create a proposal for this expanded scope in Gamma using AI West theme that I can present to client. And yeah, like this is not difficult to do, but if you want to add into your project instructions some sort of like best practices for using Gamma, that's what I do. And basically like, I don't know, I like to have it be more concise. I don't like long presentations. I like under 5 pages at the most. I want it always to use my same theme. I have a certain way of like speaking and presenting that I wanted to show. I have different use cases. Like sometimes I want a 1-pager, sometimes I want like a long project presentation. It can be whatever you want, but I like to give a little context on all these different tools. So it's already got a pretty good idea. So you can see it has access to Gamma, and this is always what it's going to look like when Claude Chat is using tools, and you'll see the different actions that the MCP allows. So first thing it did was it got the theme. Second thing it did was used Gamma Generate to actually call. And you can see if you click into this, these are the different, this is the prompt that it gave to Gamma. So Gamma has its own AI. We're just basically prompting that AI, and there's some different things that Gamma expects, like it wants to see like a presentation format. It also is there's like a way that you can prompt it to, it's called Gamma Generate, where you're generating like a general theme of the presentation, and then you're expecting the AI of Gamma to expand on that and make like a whole presentation. You can also just have it basically create your words verbatim. So if you prefer to trust Claude or yourself to create the theme, it can also just copy you verbatim and turn it into a really nice presentation. So it's already generated the Gamma, and now it's just getting the status. So pending. Usually takes like 1 to 2 minutes to create a Gamma presentation. And look at it, it actually returned the ID this time. So generation ID. Claude has the ID now. Oh, it's ready. Okay, so check the status like 10 times, and now it's got the presentation. I can click into that, and look at that. It has created a proposal, and it actually did use my theme this time. So if I click present, I can show you how this looks. Yeah, so Gamma is awesome. I mean, you can basically prompt it with like image guidelines, like how you want your images to look. You can give it the same font to use every single time, the color palette that you like. And it's done a pretty good job here. I mean, it slightly varies each time I use it. You can get more specific with your prompting, but I'm happy with this. So workflow bottleneck, it's created like an intro slide, and then introducing the new off-market automation module. How the system works. It has all of these like slide formatting prompts already like set up in it, so it's always going to look like a professional presentation. And of course, you can tailor as you want. It's going to create images for all the slides. You can affect how you want these images to look. Data hierarchy, intelligence, technical architecture, investment, and again, it's like my personal assistant knows all about my business, so it can sort of gauge like what I might charge for a service during a proposal. It's not always correct, but you can always go in and actually edit these decks as well. So if I exit, I can just click into these and edit them just as I would if I was creating a deck from scratch. So it's like the best of all possible worlds. And then I can present directly here from Gamma, or if I want to share, I can send a link to this. I can embed it. I can create a PDF, whatever. So again, it's just the best tool. I love it. It helps me so much. I mean, if you think about like the types of things that we all spend time on, I would put like creating decks, creating sales collateral at the top of that list. It just takes so much time. So I love anything that's going to literally take like an hour or two of manual work that I don't particularly enjoy doing off of my plate every day. And of course, it's just so easy to access right here in Claude. So hope that was helpful. Let me know if you need any other help or instruction on this in the comments, but should be pretty straightforward. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and get this set up, and I will see you in the next video.